As we look at the second part of section 3b, we're continuing to talk about distance, and now we're going to take the second application, which is the idea of midpoint, which is the middle number between 2 points on a graph. So what I'd like to do is take these first 2 points and get some graph paper, and I'd like to illustrate what we're talking about as we find the midpoint of these first 2 points. I'm going to graph 3, 5, that's point A, and then I'm going to graph 6, negative 1, and that's point B. As I draw a line between the two and try to understand the midpoint spot, I'm going to put an X right about there. I'm going to call that point M as the midpoint. Seems like that looks to be about in the middle. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show this same idea, but I'd like to show this idea algebraically versus visually. To find the midpoint of 2 coordinate points, we're going to add up the x's, 3 plus 6, and divide them by 2. Then we're going to add the y's, 5 plus negative 1, and divide those by 2. So my midpoint is 9 halves and 4 over 2. Or simplified, very simply, my midpoint is 4.5, comma 2. And as I look at my graph, it seems like my midpoint is about that, 4.5, comma 2. So here we have a visual representation on a graph and an algebraic representation. Let's look at the second one and just look at it algebraically. We're trying to find the midpoint of C and B. So I'm going to add negative 4 and 0 and divide that by 2, realizing those are by 2 x's. And then I'm going to say 10 plus 2 divided by 2 as well. So my midpoint is negative 4 over 2, comma 12 over 2, or in simplest forms, negative 2, comma 6. As we look at our third example on this page, we're asked to have a circle with 2 points and try to find the center of that circle. And so here I have negative 2 and 6 as my first point A, and my second point is 6 and 8. The premise would be these 2 points create a diameter of a circle, and we would like to find the center of the circle. Well, I hope you realize that the center of a circle is the midpoint of the diameter. So with that idea, what we're going to do is we're going to find the midpoint. So I'm going to add together my x's, negative 2 plus 6 over 2, and then I'm going to add up my y's, 6 plus 8 over 2. So my midpoint is 4 over 2, comma 14 over 2, or very simply 2, comma 7. So sometimes it's going to be very advantageous to graph our information to get a visual representation of the scenario.